It is not a mystery. It is very common knowledge what is violence and what is not violence. So far, what we talked about the physical level. There's more than that. There's much more than physical. There's emotional. There is all kinds of things. Abusement, emotional, all kinds of things. They are equally hurtful. They are equally painful, each and every one of them. So, sometimes it is even culture. People do that. And the young, intelligent people, such as yourselves, you may not do it. But if you look at the older society, sometimes they look down on a woman or kid or races. And all of those racism, all of them are actually violence. Violence. So how sophisticated, how detailed it is, and you all know. So it is always have to be aware of that and then move through that. And particularly when you are moving through with this violence, sometimes some culture will do something funny. Some abuses may not be recognized by a certain culture. And as we see all the time, everywhere. So, but you, an intelligent person, great human being, has to be aware of it. If you don't have the awareness, it is our fault. Even you have awareness and you cannot manage, it overtakes by addiction, then it's the addiction's fault. It's also our fault because I let myself controlled by my addiction. So it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It should never occur. Whenever it's occurred, so we have to be making sure. We have to compensate. We have to make sure we don't leave this sort of dirty activity called violence. Should not be left for the future generations to clean up. That's what we are doing today. This is not right. It is our mess. We have to clean up. We have to make it right. It is I have to make it right. It is my mess. Whatever it takes, I have to do it. Likewise, it is our mess. We have to take it. So taking responsibility and making it right is one of the important points of nonviolence. Nonviolence. And within nonviolence, sometimes there is violence too. If you go in the detail, and there is. There is. Even Gandhi movement totally tried to be non-violence, but self-sacrifices many times. So if you watch the movie Gandhi, you will see it, how much self-sacrifices they made. And that also a violence. Similarly, harming yourself and harming others, all of them are violence. During the Vietnam War, so there are Vietnamese monks who burned themselves for the sake of the poor people, for the sake of their religion, for the sake of themselves, burning themselves. And also, this is not what's not happening today. It is happening. Whatever the purpose, whatever it may be, the means should not be justified for the ends. And this is very dangerous. Many of us would like to justify the means because of the end result. So that is sometimes becomes very abusive. Sometimes it becomes very violent. Although in the name of non-violence, in the name of good purposes, good reasons. So we all have to be very much alert of that. So in other words, one should not sacrifice other people for your own personal comfort, as well as for all saving individual embarrassment and making people suffer. All of those are violence for me. It's not that when you look at that way, it's very difficult for us to be free of violence. Violence comes here and there, here and there. It's like a the dust of iron when it is picked up by magnetic piece of metal. All this little dust of iron picks up. So long as when we have ego functioning within us, we pick up all of those, like the magnetic picking up the metal dust. Like that we pick up. So that was very harmful, will be very harmful, was harmful, is harmful. So whenever that comes, it is harmful. So one should be very aware of it. As much as you can, can never be perfect straight away. But as much as you can, try to improve day by day, because this is the essence of a spiritual. This is essence of a virtue. This is the foundation of all development, joy, happiness. So if we make a mistake here, which we always do because of our addiction, and we always do, this is how addictions are harmful. It is really cutting the live tree of a spiritual within the individual, root of your spiritual, life of your spiritual was severed by this violence. So although it looks like that you are hitting somebody, you are the winning, but in reality we are losing. Yourself, whoever is engaging in violence in any form, losing is severing our life of spiritual development. So it is really important. If I can, I will come back and talk to you about this nonviolence. Again, But I will see down the road. But please remember, violence is not simply weapons. Violence is not simply physical. Violence, there's a mental, spiritual, emotional, physical. Every part of our life, there is violence, abuse, all this. Luckily, today, almost everybody knows now the rape, like a rape, is considered not good. And there were culture, people do rape. So many, and they think they have done great. And it's sort of something matter of laughing or something. So all of those are violence. So the violence comes in variety of different ways. We entertain them in variety of excuses. Finally, it is severing your spiritual tree's head. If it's like a banana tree, if you lose the head once, it won't grow again. So it is really important. So whatever we can know, we can have awareness, alertness, conscientiousness, and all of those, we should bring them together. Keep our violence down and build a life of nonviolence. Make sure your life is managed with the principles of nonviolence. Thank you. I'll see you next week.